Hello, welcome to this video where we will discuss connecting an STM6000 EdgeBox HMI running Blue Open Studio on Linux to AVEVA Insight. In a previous video, which I will include the links to in the description of this video, we previously discussed connecting a Blue Open Studio Windows runtime to AVEVA Insight. And in that case, that was via the Studio Database Gateway. And in that case, all the connection information between Blue Open Studio via the gateway to Insight was stored in the gateway. Okay? In this case, in the HMI runtime, we would create a data source in AVEVA Insight and use that connection information in our BOS project in the same place in the trend logger sheet. Okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is let's create a data source in our AVEVA Insight account. We're going to go to Administration. And then in Administration, we're going to go to Data Sources. And here you can see I have some data sources that I've already created. Let's go ahead and create a new data source. And this is going to be, in this case, for what we're doing, we're going to use this CSV/JSON data source name. We'll just give it, we'll say video 2 underscore DS for data source. And I'm going to leave out the location, etc. for now. Okay, and now what you'll see is you have an endpoint. So for the connection in the database gateway, you'll see that we have an endpoint, and you'll see that we have a token. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the endpoint in the token to just a notepad file so I can have those for using in my Blue Open Studio environment. Okay, so now that I've copied that to my notepad, I'm just going to go ahead and close out of here, and now we can actually go back to our Blue Open Studio. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is in our existing trend logger sheet where we have the 5 data points that we're logging, and we have our trigger and our historian, we're going to go into the historian configuration, and now what we're going to do is we're going to change this to this AVEVA Insight CSV JSON. And here's the endpoint. The default endpoint looks like it's different now, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that endpoint and get the endpoint from my notepad. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and get the authentication token from my notepad. Okay, and then what you'll see here is you'll also see, so this is working on, it is basically, it's canned into the functionality that this is working on a store and forward method. So here you're setting your maximum amount of time that you're going to store the data for the forward period. And then let's go ahead here and put another prefix. Okay, and then we still have our status bit from before. Okay, so this should be all ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and save this sheet. You also see what I've done in this project is because we're running it on the EdgeBox, I have created a screen so we can enter some data into it. Okay, so let's go ahead and connect to the EdgeBox and download to it. And I'm connected via the USB cable. Again, we need to use TLS. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and connect. Okay, accept your certificate. Okay, log in. Okay, so now you can see stop my project, install runtime files. Be back in a minute. Okay, so the system files are done, so we have to reconnect. Okay, let's go ahead and send the project. Make sure it's stopped. Okay. Okay, project was sent. Let's go ahead and put it into run. Disconnect. Go ahead and let's close. Okay. Okay, so now you can see I've gone into my browser and we're looking at the runtime in the Edge box. So you can see the timer has got some clicks on it. Let's just go ahead and put some values in here. Okay, so now you can see we've got some dates. We've got some data that's come in 1 minute ago at 5:30 p.m. And again, if we go back and look at our trend logger, you'll see that's the int my integer, and then we should have this video 2 prefix on there. Okay, so if we go back to our AVEVA Insight, what we can do is we can actually view the history of this and see when it actually came in. Okay. Okay, so you can see here's the CSV files that were uploaded. And they have a range of data. So what we can actually do is we can check on that. We can check a box and we can download that to an Excel file. And then what you'll see is you'll see an Excel file here. So this is how the raw data is coming in, and there's those raw values that we put in. Okay. Okay, so now if I go back home, I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can find the tag easily. Yep, and there they are. There's the video 2. Go ahead and create a new content, and here's our data. Go ahead and do a save on that. We'll call that content. Go ahead and save it. So now I have another content. Okay. So again, just another short video illustrating hopefully the ease of use. This is, I think, can be a quite powerful tool. Fairly easy to use. So thank you for watching.